All right, we're back with lesson 111. Can you guys believe we're this far in the book and this far in the year? I know some of you are thinking like, yeah, we're just ready to be done, but we're going to persevere to the end of the book. I just personally can't believe we're already at 111. Just seems like we started the semester or the year. Anyways, this is a shorter lesson. It's on commission and profit. So if you've heard the word commission before and aren't sure what that means, it is a percentage of sales that employees get paid as salespeople. So like if you go to Nordstrom and you buy $350 of new school clothes and the sales girl gets 10% commission, that's extra money that she makes for being a good salesperson and for working really hard. And it's a way that companies compensate employees and motivates them to sell stuff. So commission usually it can range anywhere from 5% to 50%. I don't know. I've never worked on commission, so I'm not completely sure. But it is a way that salespeople and employees make money. So again, we like with the last lesson, we have to be good with calculating percentages. And this is the first example and the only example that we get for this. So again, this is kind of just a flyover to reinforce and explain what commission is. It's not, unless you work on commission, it's not probably going to be very important to you, but it's valuable to know what it means and how to calculate it. So it says a sales representative was paid a base salary of $300 per month. He also was paid a commission of 10% on anything that he sold. He sold $26,000 worth of merchandise in 1 month. What was his paycheck? So base salary of $300. These are my notes. 10% commission, sales of $26,000. Okay? So first, before we can find out what he made in a full month, we need to be able to figure out the commission. So what is 10% of $26,000? So what is 10% of $26,000? Okay, now this one I know is going to be much easier to calculate with, I'm going to actually make it a fraction. So I'm going to drop the percent symbol, I'm going to put it over 100, I'm going to reduce it to 1/10, and then I'm going to reduce a 0 here, and I get $2,600. Another way that you can do it, if you understand the ones and zeros thing, is I know that 10% of this means I'm dividing by 10. The number 10 has 1 0 in it, so I'm going to move my decimal place over 1 spot. So I come right here, and I have $2,600. So is $2,600 the right answer? No, they want to know what he makes in a month. So we have to add back in this base salary, which is not very much money, but we get $2,600, plus 300. So he made $2,900 that month. All right, so commission plus salary. Commission plus salary is his paycheck. And so it looks like you will have one practice problem based on commission, and the other practice problem for this lesson is on profit. So when businesses sell things, they don't, if Nordstrom sells you that $350 worth of clothing, new school clothing, they don't get $350. They have to pay their employees, they have to pay that commission, they have to pay for the building, they have to pay insurance, they have to pay all of these things to keep the lights on, the water running, toilet paper in the bathrooms. Toilet paper is a big deal right now, right? So there's something called profit, and profit is when you take your sales and you subtract your expenses, okay? So when companies sell things, they don't just get all that money because it costs money to run a business. So this is just kind of an introduction to maybe some basic business concepts. And let's look at the first example. It says a store owner marks up her merchandise 40%. Her expenses are $5,200 a month. If she paid $16,000 for goods sold in 1 month, what was her profit? So let's take some notes. She marks up her goods 40%. Her expenses, I'm going to put an EXP, are $5,200 a month. And she paid $16,000 for the goods that she sold in a month. Okay? So this is what she paid for the goods, but this is how much she marked it up. You see how they kind of gave you the information in not the most concise way, I guess, so that you would understand. Maybe just put things a little bit out of order. I think they do that on purpose. That's why I like to take notes. So if she paid $16,000 for the merchandise, we know she marked it up 40%. So our is of statement is what is 40% of 16,000. So we're going to do 40% times 16,000. We know that's going to be 0.4 times 16,000. I'll get my calculator. 0.4 times 16,000, and that's $6,400. Okay, so $6,400 is what she marked her stuff up. Okay, so that would have been her markup or her profit margin on the goods. So she has $6,400 in profit on that $16,000 worth of goods. But then what were her expenses? She had to spend $5,200 a month on lights and rent and employees. So we're going to subtract out those costs or expenses. So 0 minus 0 is 0, 0, 4 minus 2 is 2, 6 minus 1 is 5. So $1,200 was her profit for the month. I don't know about you, but that's not a lot of money. So I'm thinking that, what was her name again? Oh, just as a store owner, they don't even want to tell us her name. She probably needs a new business model, or she maybe needs to not be in this business anymore, right? Okay, so commission is a percentage that companies pay salespeople to keep them motivated to sell and to help pay their salaries. And then profit is the money that you walk away with when you run a business. So it's your actual income from running a business. It's your sales minus your expenses, okay? So here we had the markup, the profit that she made on the goods that she sold, and this was her expenses, and this was the difference. So if you have any questions, please let me know.